Tonight's of the program, the underlying problems in Thai education and the possible challenges of raising Gen Beta children. Then why has Southeast Asia become a hub for cross-border scams? And Thailand's economic and business outlook for 2025. สวัสดีค่ะ I'm Nad Bunag and welcome to This Week with Thai PBS World. Thai Children's Day is around the corner and the motto for this year given by Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra is that every opportunity is a learning experience. Be ready to adapt to the future you choose. Before children can actually explore opportunities and their future, their access to quality education must be the priority. But whether the Thai government places importance on education or not, how the budget is being allocated says a lot. The budget for the 2025 fiscal year, which has already been approved by the cabinet, is 3.75 trillion baht. And if we look at the ministries with the highest budget allocation, the education ministry is always among the top, along with finance, interior, defense, and transport ministries. And for this fiscal year, 340 billion baht has been allocated to the education ministry. That is 12 billion more than last year. In fact, the Education Ministry has received some of the highest budget allocations in the past few years. The actual amount has, however, been decreasing except for this year. And despite the high budgets, the quality of Thai education has not really improved. As opposition MPs have said, the budget has been used the wrong way. People's Party MP Parit Wacharasin pointed out during the budget bill debate last year that the government places too much emphasis on the infrastructure and the much publicized digital wallet scheme. What he thinks is far more important is investment in reskilling and upskilling the nation. Therefore, he has suggested that some of the budget that was poured into the digital wallet scheme could have gone to the Education Ministry to improve local childcare centers, as well as the investment in upskilling and reskilling projects for citizens, such as languages, digital literacy, and even life skills. He also thinks that the Education Ministry should allocate the budget to the schools and allow them to have full control of how they're going to use it. And another problem that needs to be addressed urgently is the school dropout rate among Thai children. And according to the Equitable Education Fund, there are 12.2 million children in Thailand, but 1 million of them have dropped out of their education system. And if we look at the details, most of the children dropping out are aged between 6 and 14 years old, followed by those aged 3 to 5 and those aged 15 to 18. And although there have been reports showing large number of students dropping out of school, there are efforts being made to bring them back into the education system. A volunteer group in the Klong Thai community in Bangkok has never given up hope of getting these students back to school through a new learning approach, which is called the free-form school. Warisara Sahan has more details.
These houses are in Klong Thai, which most people call the Klong Thai slum. These 69 hectares in the heart of the capital is home to over 200,000 people. Most families here lived a hand-to-mouth existence.
ผมเกิดมาแม่ทิ้งพ่อติดยาญาติผมคือแม่เลี้ยงผมเขาก็เอาผมมาเป็นลูกบุญธรรมเพราะว่ากลัวผมไม่ถึง2 เดือนก็เลยจดลูกบุญธรรมตามกฎหมายเลยครับแล้วเขาก็เลี้ยงดูมาฐานะก็ไม่ได้รวยก็จนนะครับ
พัทรพงษ์ปานนิน or Tum, now 16, was born and raised in Romu community in Klong Thai. Family conflicts led to him dropping out of school and moving to Chonburi province at the age of 14. During that time, his life had no purpose. Statistics from the Klong Thai Dijang project in 2023 show that about 200 out of 1,200 here have dropped out of the education system. Tum was not the only out-of-school kid. Best or Pongsakorn Kaew Keuayat, who is turning 18, has a similar background. He grew up in Got Kang community in Kong Tei. He stopped participating in the normal education system when he was 14 because of conflicts with his teachers.
พอเข้ามาช่วงม.ต้นก็เริ่มแบบว่าซ่าเลยวันเข้าไปวันแรกก็มีเรื่องเลยแล้วคือแบบทำไปเรื่อยๆจนอาจารย์แบบว่าเบื่อเราครับแล้วแบบพยายามจะแบบว่าแบบจะให้เราออกให้ได้อย่างเงี้ย
Despite realizing that it was the time to change for the better, he said he still got expelled. And that was the beginning of a journey through life, which he called aimless. This is where the Kong Tei Di Zhang or music sharing group played a vital role, starting as a small group of music teachers wanting to help society. The group has been volunteering in the Kong Tei community for over 10 years, working especially with families and children. As such, they can see the main cause problems is economic hardship.
บางช่วงเนี่ยถ้าเด็กที่โตขึ้นมาหน่อยอย่าง 14-15 เนี่ยเขาก็ต้องไปทำงานและอาจจะรับจ็อบพาร์ทไทม์บ้างไปช่วยผู้ปกครองตัวเองทำงานบ้างนะครับแล้วการเห็นถึงความสำคัญของการศึกษาเนี่ยมันเลยแบบลดน้อยลงไปเรื่อยๆเนาะเพราะว่าในจังหวะนั้นนะคือเขาต้องเอาตัวรอดในแต่ละวันให้ได้ก่อนเขาก็ต้องคิดว่าแล้วฉันจะมีเงินจากไหนมาซื้อข้าวกินวะอะไรเงี้ย
What got them back on track was a non-formal type of education called the Free From School Project, provided by the Kong Tei Di Zhang Volunteer Group. In partnership with the Children and Youth Development Foundation Learning Center, students can attain high school certification after they finish all the courses. The program is flexible but slightly different from regular non-formal education, as the staff in the Free From School work as mentors to closely monitor their progress.
เด็กกลุ่มนี้คือต้องแบบใช้คนทำงานต้องใช้พลังงานสูงในการตามเขาเฮ้ยวันนี้เองมาปะเนี่ยวันนี้มีเวิร์กช็อปนะวันนี้ต้องมาทำกันบ้านแล้วนะงานเสร็จหรือยังอะไรอย่างนี้
The Free From School allows their students to study and enhance their potential in their fields of interest. The two students, Tum and Best, have a strong passion for music. Now, the program's success is evident through the better lives of these two students. They are now musicians and singers.
อยู่นู่นไม่มีอะไรเลยไม่มีความคิดที่แบบอยากกลับไปเรียนอยากอะไรคือใช้ชีวิตไปวันๆพออยู่นี่พอเราเล่นเราก็รู้สึกว่าแบบเฮ้ยนี่แหละอยากพัฒนาวงอยากออกไปเล่นกลางคืนอยากเป็นนักดนตรีเต็มตัวเลยก็ดูมีชีวิตชีวามากขึ้น
พวกผมเป็นนักดนตรีใช่ไหมครับเขาก็ให้ไปแบบว่าไปแข่งกับที่โรงเรียนเขาครับไปแข่งแบบว่าไปแข่งทำกิจกรรมดนตรีเสริมทักษะของตัวเองครับที่ตัวเองชอบเหมือนมันมีเป้าหมายครับให้เราแบบว่าทำแล้วให้ฝึกด้วยตัวเองแบบว่าไม่ต้องแบบไปจดจ่ออยู่กับแบบว่าวันว่างๆครับ
An educational specialist, Associate Professor Dr. Lư Chai Singenyuang, sees that the goal of Thai education is for students to stand on their own feet. That means that education needs to be more diverse and involve more learning approaches beyond conventional schooling.
ผมคิดว่าสิ่งหนึ่งที่จะเป็นโจทย์ท้าทายกระทรวงมากเลยก็คือว่าหรือรัฐบาลมากเลยคือว่าทำอย่างไรให้การศึกษาเนี่ยมันไม่ถูกรวมศูนย์อยู่ที่หน่วยงานของกระทรวงศึกษาหรือหน่วยงานรัฐทำให้การศึกษาเนี่ยมันแพร่หลายมันหลากหลายมันจะเป็นอะไรก็ได้ตราบใดที่ไปสู่เป้าหมายนะพัฒนาตัวเอง
Many out-of-school children are at risk of getting involved in the vicious cycle of drugs, crimes, and domestic violence. Teacher Nung explains that one way to reduce that possibility is more creative space.
This area behind me used to be an activity ground shared by 4 communities. 2 years ago, children and volunteers would gather here for outdoor learning sessions like art and recycling. But now it has been reclaimed. The classes were moved to smaller locations scattered around the communities.
Teacher Nung hopes, however, that one day the government will play a role in bringing back more common spaces, not just in Kong Tei, but for every crowded community in Bangkok. The flaws in the Thai education system have been one of the deepest structural problems in Thailand for a long time. The government promotes its zero dropout policy to tackle the problem nationally. The Free from School program could set a strong and powerful example for society. But the program itself can only fix a small part of the whole system. Warisala Sehan and At Bunyatat reporting for Thai PBS World.
From education, now let's talk about parenting. If you're expecting an addition to your family in 2025, your new son or daughter will not be Generation Alpha, but will be classified as Generation Beta. We have taken a look at the underlying challenges of raising these children. Here's more with Kitipat Chinsukjit.
Born into a world already reshaped by COVID-19, Generation Beta also enters an era in which advanced technology like AI, virtual reality, and robotics are no longer luxuries, but a way of life. So what does this mean for their future and ours? By 2030, it is estimated that members of Generation Beta could reach more than 2 billion people globally. That's nearly 1/4 of the world's population.
จริงๆทุกเจนนะเนาะเด็กก็เป็นสิ่งมีชีวิตเหมือนสัตว์โลกทั่วไปเนาะที่เกิดขึ้นมาเนาะก็เวลาจะพัฒนาเนี่ยเขาก็บอกว่าต้องดูระบบนิเวศของการพัฒนาเด็กระบบนิเวศรอบตัวเขาเนี่ยสิ่งแวดล้อมรอบตัวมันก็จะเต็มไปด้วยระบบเศรษฐกิจสังคมวัฒนธรรมแล้วก็ที่สำคัญตอนนี้มากที่สุดเลยก็คือเทคโนโลยี
Generation Beta has unparalleled access to information through technology, but there are trade-offs. On the positive side, technology fosters creativity and independence. It can, however, lead to issues like social isolation or, as Dr. Adisak warns, even pseudo-autism.
เขาก็เรียนรู้ได้เร็วนะฮะเรียนรู้ได้กว้างนะความรู้เขากว้างขึ้นเขาสามารถที่จะศึกษาด้วยตนเองอันนี้ก็บรรลุวัตถุประสงค์ของโลกอนาคตนะคือเป็นคนที่แบบมีความคิดสร้างสรรค์นะเรียนรู้ได้ด้วยตนเองนะมีความมั่นใจนะพ่อแม่ก็เลี้ยงดูเชิงบวกมากขึ้นเราก็ส่งเสริมเรื่องการเลี้ยงดูเชิงบวกนะให้กำลังใจลูกนะไม่ลงโทษนะฮะแล้วก็ให้ลูกได้ตัดสินใจนะได้ด้วยตนเองแต่ข้อเสียที่เราเห็นเลยนะว่ามันก็เกิดอันที่หนึ่งก็คือเรื่องของปฏิสัมพันธ์ทางสังคมนะมันอ่อนด้อยลงเนื่องจากเด็กไปอยู่กับไอ้ตัวเทคโนโลยีด้วยตัวเองมากขึ้นนะฮะถูกพ่อแม่ส่งเสริมให้แบบมีความมั่นใจมากขึ้นอาจจะสร้างความสัมพันธ์น้อยลงนะพ่อแม่ก็ทำงานมากขึ้นแล้วก็เวลาก็น้อยนะอีกอันหนึ่งคือความมั่นคงทางอารมณ์อันนี้อาจจะลืมไปตอนแรกนึกว่าเห็นลูกมีความสุขนะเล่นเกมก็ได้นะเรียนรู้ด้วยตนเองความรู้ไปหมดเลยนะบางคนรู้จักสัตว์108,900พ่อแม่ยังไม่รู้จักเลยเพราะเขาดูคนเองในอินเทอร์เน็ตตั้งแต่เล็กๆนะฮะจำได้หมดเลยแต่ว่าความมั่นคงทางอารมณ์ก็จะหายไปด้วย
Education systems worldwide are struggling to adapt. The learning needs of Generation Beta are different and traditional methods might not be enough. According to an expert, we need flexible models that integrate both formal and informal learning, while focusing on moral development and emotional intelligence.
การศึกษาเพื่อให้เด็กไปเข้าสู่ตลาดแรงงานเพราะนั้นการศึกษาต้องเหมาะสมกับตลาดแรงงานในอนาคตอันนี้น่าจะเป็นแนวคิดที่เราน่าจะเลิกได้แล้วนะคือเด็กเรียนเพื่อสร้างวิถีชีวิตของคนนะถ้าเราเรียนเพื่อส่งต่อเด็กเข้าสู่ตลาดแรงงานนะอันนี้มันก็จะเป็นการอะไรไปจำกัดการเติบโตของมนุษย์ของคนในภาพของการส่งเข้าสู่ภาคธุรกิจหรือภาคแรงงานซึ่งไม่น่าถูกต้องเนาะแต่เรากำลังสร้างเด็กเพื่อเติบโตไปเป็นคนที่จะอยู่ในโลกอนาคตซึ่งเราไม่รู้ว่ามันจะเปลี่ยนไปเร็วแค่ไหนอย่างไรถูกไหมแล้วเด็กเหล่านี้ถึงต้องมีความคิดสร้างสรรค์นะมีความสามารถในการควบคุมตนเองแล้วก็ที่สำคัญคือมีความสามารถในการสร้างปฏิสัมพันธ์กับบุคคลที่หลากหลายกับสรรพสิ่งรอบตัวแล้วก็มีความยืดหยุ่นในการรับกับโลกที่มีการเปลี่ยนแปลงไปอย่างรวดเร็วนะเพราะนั้น
Unlike previous generations, Generation Beta will face a world where climate change, rapid urbanization, and global connectivity reshape their opportunities and challenges. Experts believe their upbringing will depend heavily on how societies adapt to these shifts. Generation Beta isn't just the future, they are the present. In fact, the choices we make today will define how they thrived in a world full of possibilities and challenges. Kittipat Sukhjit, reporting for Thai PBS World.
And raising Generation Beta children will definitely be challenging. And now let's have a look at the stories making headlines throughout the week in our weekly roundup.
Chinese actor Xing Xing has been confirmed by Thai police to be a victim of human trafficking, but he is now safe after being returned to Thailand on Tuesday. The Chinese actor had traveled from Shanghai and landed at Suvarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok on January 3rd. He later went missing near the Thai-Myanmar border in Ma Sot district of Tak province and was located 4 days later. He will fly back home when he is ready to travel. A 41-year-old man captured on CCTV falling from an 18-story building in Poi Phet, a border city in Cambodia, has been identified as a resident of Kanchanaburi province in Thailand. Police believe the building serves as the headquarters of an online scam network. In the past, Thai police have arrested members of a human smuggling ring who were attempting to traffic Thai nationals to Cambodia to work in the same building. A former Thai Marine who allegedly shot and killed a former Cambodian opposition MP in Bangkok on Tuesday has been arrested in Battambang province of Cambodia. Public prosecutors have decided to indict 16 key members of the Icon Group, including its CEO and a former TV personality, as well as the corporate entity itself. They did, however, decide to drop charges against 2 other celebrities due to lack of sufficient evidence. All 18 key members and the company have been charged with defrauding the public, operating a direct sales business without a permit, violations of the Computer Crime Act, and operating a pyramid scheme, all causing damage estimated at about 650 million baht.
And in light of the shocking scandal concerning a Chinese actor being lured into Thailand for a fake casting opportunity, we take a look back at how the story unfolded and why Southeast Asia has become a hub for cross-border crime.
This was the moment when Chinese actor Xing Xing landed at Suvarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok on January 3rd. He was picked up in a car, not knowing that a casting session invitation he had received on WeChat would turn out to be from human traffickers. The car was last captured by CCTV cameras at King Taksin roundabout in Ma Sot district of Tak province. The actor was transferred to a pickup truck to cross the border into Myanmar. This method is familiar to the Immigration Bureau, when human trafficking gangs, mostly hiding along the border, take victims through natural crossings. Based on the locations provided by the actor, the area used was Ban Ma Kongen in Ma Sot district. At least 2 scam cities in Myanmar are located opposite Ma Sot, namely the Saisikang Industrial Zone and KK Park, both located in Miyawadi Township. These 2 locations are investments by Wan Kok Koi, nicknamed the Broken Tooth, a businessman and former leader of the 14K Triad Group, a criminal network with more than 20,000 members around the world. He was convicted for his involvement in drug and human trafficking, as well as illegal online gambling. With a growing number of scam cities in neighboring countries, parts of Thailand, especially Ma Sot, have become transit points for human traffickers. The former Deputy Secretary General of the National Security Council feels that the country has placed too much importance on boosting tourism and lacks enough stringent measures to tackle cross-border crime.
รัฐบาลต้องประกาศชัดเจนว่าเราจะดูแลด้านความมั่นคงเพื่อที่ว่าคืออย่าไปกังวล ว่าแม้ถ้าเกิดเราประกาศความเข้มงวดแล้วเนี่ยจะไม่มีใครมาเที่ยวเลยประเทศไทยเนี่ยยังไงคนก็มาแต่เนื่องจากว่ารัฐบาลที่ผ่านมาเนี่ยก็จะมองเศรษฐกิจเป็นหลักแล้วพยายามไม่ยุ่งความมันบอกว่าคงจะพูดกันเลยพูดไปแล้วเดี๋ยวคนเขาไม่กล้ามาเที่ยวเอาเรื่องเศรษฐกิจเป็นหลักไปก่อนอะไรเงี้ยแล้วก็โฆษณาว่ามันปลอดภัยพอปลอดภัยปั๊บแค่คน2 คนเนี่ยไปโดนขึ้นมานะมันเป็นข่าวทั่วไปหมด
Meanwhile, People's Party MP Rangsiman Rom is demanding that the government tackles cross-border crime as a national priority. One loophole he noted is the use of visas on arrival, which allows travelers, including potential offenders, to enter the country very easily, as opposed to pre-travel visas for which travelers must provide details of their stay when they apply for them before travel.
คือผมคิดว่าอย่างน้อยที่สุดเนี่ยให้เราเนี่ยนะครับมีฐานข้อมูลบางอย่างนะครับในการเก็บเอาไว้เมื่อก่อนคนจีนเนี่ยนะครับเวลาเข้ามาประเทศไทยเนี่ยเป็นวีซ่า on arrival นะครับเวลาเป็นวีซ่า on arrival เนี่ยอย่างน้อยที่สุดเนี่ยทางตม.ถามได้ว่ามันต้องมีบันทึกใช่ไหมคุณจะไปพักที่ไหนอะไรยังไงแต่พอเป็นฟรีวีซ่าบางทีเขาก็ไม่ได้ถามอะไรมันก็เดินผ่านตม.กันได้ง่ายๆดังนั้นเนี่ยเราแทบจะไม่มีฐานข้อมูลในระบบอะไรเลยว่าคนจีนเหล่านี้นะครับเดินทางมาอย่างไรส่วนตัวผมเชื่อว่าคนจีนส่วนใหญ่ที่มานะครับเป็นคนที่ดีเป็นคนที่อยากจะมาท่องเที่ยวแต่เราต้องยอมรับว่ามันมีขบวนการที่มันแอบแฝงตรงนี้จำนวนมากและถ้าเราไม่มีมาตรการอะไรเลยเนี่ยประเทศไทยจะไม่ต่างอะไรกับการเป็นนายหน้าค้ามนุษย์ที่กำลังต้องบอกว่านี่คือเครือข่ายค้ามนุษย์ที่ใหญ่ที่สุดในโลกในวันนี้
Meanwhile, according to Thailand's Civil Society Network for Victim Assistance in Human Trafficking, over 6,000 people of 21 nationalities fall victims to human trafficking gangs in Myanmar, 3,900 of whom are Chinese nationals. 370 people asked for help to rescue such victims between October 25, 2024 and January 7th this year. Xingxing may have been one of the very few cases who were rescued. The Chinese actor thanked the Thai authorities while also insisting that Thailand is still safe for travel.
I can have the chance to go back to my country. It's very appreciated. Yeah, and also Thailand is very safe. I'm gonna go back again. Yes, everything in here is good. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you all.
We'll end the program with issues related to business and the economy. Thailand's economy is slowly recovering, particularly thanks to the tourism industry and exports since the third quarter of 2024. Despite improvements, foreign investors are concerned over unclear policies about long-term initiatives on climate resilience and sustainability. Business leaders said that Thailand will sign multiple FTAs soon, but clear directions for innovation and labor quality are imperative.
Thailand's tourism industry and exports have driven the economic recovery since the third quarter of 2024, with GDP growing by 3% in that quarter and projected to rise by 2.6% for the year as a whole. As inflation almost flatlined in 2024 and with over 30 million tourist arrivals last year, Thailand's business leader remain optimistic about the country's economic performance in the year ahead. The chairwoman of the Joint Foreign Chambers of Commerce stated that collaboration with other nations and trade blocs is expected to boost economic growth.
On free trade agreements, they need to continue to work on the positive effect there. The Sri Lanka Thai free trade agreement comes in force, I think, now in January. The EFTA agreement, I'm from Norway myself, so I'm quite happy about that. This will be signed at the Davos now at late January. And I think the EU agreement is on good way. They're looking at maybe completing within 2 years. So these are all very positive areas, but it does require that we work on it and that we implement and we make sure that that increases trade. Thailand may in some ways have been a bit too reliant on certain countries or too few countries when it comes to trade. So I think diversifying is very important. I think another area is very positive, the Thailand signing the OECD agreement in 2024. And this is something that foreign direct investment look at as very positive.
Despite opportunities to forge trade partnerships, the chairwoman suggested that the government must establish clear policies for small and medium enterprises as well as new investors. Another imminent issue is the sluggish pace of digitalization. Wibeke noted that new investors are seeking to relocate their hubs to countries where streamlined regulations and innovation are actively supported. She emphasized that Thailand can attract top talent, but only if its existing complex rules are simplified.
When it comes to foreign investors, what is important for us is to have a clear view from the government. What is the policies that they will focus on? At the moment, this is not 100% clear, and this is something that for foreign investors it's difficult. They need to be sure that if you're looking at investments at EEC, BOI, they have very clear policies. But it's not every company that will fit into the EEC or under the BOI scheme. We need to digitalize. We need to make sure that when we invest, we do not have to wait long for a license. We need to make sure that work permit and visa process is eased. Ownership structure, the Foreign Business Act, I know that it's a little bit of a hot potato, but it is something that Thailand is competitive in many areas. And I think in order for us to bring in new innovation, bring in technology, I think we need to liberalize the service sector. We need to make sure that we attract new talents. We need to be sure that innovation comes into Thailand. And this we can do hand in hand.
In addition to the challenges with digitalization, Thailand has been experiencing increasingly frequent flooding, partly due to climate change, with northern and southern provinces submerged during the last 3 months of 2024. To mitigate climate-related issues, the JFCCT has joined a group with a Thai commercial bank and other companies to share knowledge on climate resilience. Wibeke noted implementing relevant policies to minimize climate impact is imperative for both existing and prospective investors in the country.
Everybody's concerned about the climate at the moment. So for foreign investors, if we do not see that a clear policy is put in place, investors will look at other countries to go to. So I think the government is aware of that, but we do wish to see a clear policy. You have the Climate Act that is, there's a draft on it. As JFCCT, what we would like to see is that the draft is aligned with the region. We need to see positive steps where Thailand is moving in the right direction. We should work across the sectors. Very important that we have education sector and that the government work with each single sector and the private sector together when we are looking at the climate, because they walk hand in hand. Only government working alone is not going to work. Only private sector pushing for it is not going to work. So it needs to be across academia, civil society, government and private sector.
Frank Kanshi reporting for Thai PBS World.
All right, and that wraps up tonight's edition of This Week with Thai PBS World. Join us every Friday at 10:30 p.m. only on Thai PBS. And don't forget to follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates about Thailand as well as analyses. Thanks for watching and happy Thai Children's Day. สวัสดีค่ะ